Alrighty. It has been a very long time since I have uploaded anything at all, and I just want to start off fresh on the channel. That's why all the content was deleted, and we're also going to be giving a testimony today and letting you know what the plans are for the future, and I really hope this works out. So, for those that have been wondering, um, within the last 3 or 4 months, we've been very quiet, and in fact, we've deleted all of our mods. We've actually have deleted all the videos in the channel, everything. Um, so just for context, the mods were available uh, through Discord, although I was putting them behind a paywall, and I will explain here as to why and what happened and what caused me to make this decision. Um, During the moment, it was the only conscious decision I could make at the time. I wasn't really thinking too well on any resources and things like that because I was panicking. But I'll elaborate as to what the situation was, what happened in the end result, and what we're doing to fix that. And like I said, we're going to discuss about hopefully different plans down the road. Um, so this video is going to be called My Testimony, and I would like to give a testimony out to anybody out there who is struggling. This is not in regards to modding. This is not over a video game in the slightest. This is just a testimony for those that may struggle and I can't find a reason to continue on. I was in that position. So, so for those who didn't know, about 4 to 5 months ago, I had gotten kicked out of my stepfather's house. My stepfather was very verbally abusive. Always made me question every decision I made, whether I told the truth or not. He would get angry regardless. Claims he was trying to support me and to better myself. In reality, he was just emotionally traumatizing me at that point. I wasn't happy. I lost interest in the modding part of things. That's why the mods got taken down, as well as the videos on the channel here because I didn't want to think about it at all. That's how bad this whole thing, caused me to be emotionally speaking. Um, and basically, the reason why I was kicked out is because I didn't want to fulfill a job that he was trying to force me to do. His buddy had put in a word for me for a local auto position for a counter salesperson, which at the time I thought it was easy. I thought that people were going to be coming off the street, wanting their oils, wanting their coolants, filters, things of that nature. Ended up figuring out that this is a very, very retro, like old school like store. So everything was done by paper. Um, there was a warehouse in the back for all the parts. It was completely unorganized for that matter. And on top of that, the temperature. This was around June or July, August, around there. Um, that room was almost 110 degrees. And twice on the job, I passed out. I'm a bigger, heavy set guy, and us big guys, we don't do well with heat. And I passed out once or twice, I think, and ambulance had to come and check on me to make sure I was okay. I ended up figuring out that I just wasn't drinking enough water, but even drinking plenty of water that day, 2 or 3 bottles to be precise, for just the morning portion. I was still on the verge of getting overwhelmed with the heat in the back of the warehouse area. So I tried to talking to my stepfather about this for suggestions, and I was given the whole tough it out BS, and that pretty much inadvertently saying that my feelings don't matter or how I think about things don't matter. So um, with that being said, I was in the process of looking for a different job. I ended up finding out a cooking position that was much more better circumstances. It was central AC in the kitchen, so we were going to be kept cool. Proper training, proper management. Everyone was nice there. I was literally starting within the first 3 days, and then that's when my stepfather had found out that I quit that other job that his buddy put a word in. So in a sense, his ego was shattered because of his buddy's representation for putting himself on the line. Even already telling him in the process, I appreciate what he did, but unfortunately, I told him I was like, I cannot guarantee you I'm going to be able to fulfill this job normally. Um, so, anyways, with that being said, he found out that I quit the job and basically kicked me out of the house. I had a note under my door the next day saying that I had until Monday to pack my stuff and to go wherever. So When that happened, the first thing I did was I had enough money to get myself a hotel room for a couple nights because here where I live, the temperature kind of fluctuates. So one day it's like 30 degrees, one day it's like 60 or 70 during this time frame, which is weird. But it was a cold night regardless to say. So I booked a hotel for a couple of nights. Afterwards, I was not for sure where to go. Ended up living in my vehicle for the next month and a half, 2 months, and I was at the lake. I was at my local lake in my town. And this is where, and for those that don't believe or non-believers, I apologize, but I'm going to be saying this on my behalf in a prideful way. But this is where I really discovered how important God was to me. God has helped me out of this whole thing, and I would like to give a personal shout out right now to the Penitent Textures. The Penitent Textures, I'll be sure to link his channel in the description for you guys. This man has kept me alive for 2 months. He went on his own behalf to help me out to make sure I wouldn't go hungry, that I needed my necessities like gas and water, these things. He helped me out. Every couple of weeks or so, he would always donate $200 every time. There was nothing less than 150, and I feel guilty. And the one thing with me is I do not like taking money at all. I hate taking people's money, especially when they're busted their butts off for it. But he didn't hesitate to do that, and he was just telling me on his behalf that God was working through him, and he was telling me I just wanted to check in on you and making sure you're okay. And that was the night where I literally thought about doing something bad, letting my vehicle roll into the lake. Like that's how deep we were, and in terms of emotions. But the Penitent Textures has kept me alive for 2 months. He's been there for me even now, making sure I'm okay. He's not going to have to donate hardly anything at all anymore, and I really hope that's the case, and I can start the process of repaying him. And I feel extremely guilty. This man has drained his savings for me, and you don't really meet people like that on, especially on Discord. We both met on my main modding server before Open Cage was a thing. I had my own dedicated modding server, and we met with the interest of modding the game together. That's how me and Steven met. So we've been friends about 5 years now, 4 to 5 years, and he's the bestest friend I could have ever asked for. But this is when I took my faith really seriously, and I believed in God since I was a kid. But up until now, I've wanted to take my faith more seriously. I realized that I need to read the Bible more, apply it to my life, and believe that Jesus is my Lord and Savior, which He is. Um, but within the last 2 months, about halfway from the 4 months we were just mentioning, a friend from school reached out to me and said, "Hey, I saw your post. I know you're needing a place to stay. I'm willing to let you stay at my trailer up until so you can get yourself up and ready." And things were going okay, although the living conditions were absolutely awful there. We're talking like there's gnats, roaches, even maggots in the fridge. It was disgusting. But I was grateful for what he did for me to let me stay in there and not freeze to death or be in the rain. So with that being said, unfortunately we had gotten into it. About a month later, his landlord found out that I was living there, but told me to get out the next day. So I was confused and ended up figuring out that roommate lied to me, saying he told his landlord about me but didn't. So he thought I was a squatter basically. But no, he never told his landlord about me, so I had to get out. And um, I'm gonna thank. I want to thank three people today for their generosity, their sacrifice, and their friendship for so long that we now have an apartment our own apartment now, and it's thanks to these three people. And I have to give them a shout out. And the first one is the Penitent Textures, Someone from the Dark, and Aunt Cass, which all three of their channels will be linked in the description. They all three of them raised $1,000 for me, so I can have an apartment to get first month's rent and security deposit. I now have a job where I'm living, and I'm hoping it's going to go through. Unfortunately, with me living in the vehicle for the last 2 months, we have been under some very bad circumstances and very bad conditions for my back. My back is pretty shot at this point. It's severe sciatica, and I think it's chronic at this point. We've had that going on since we lived in that vehicle. And right now we're trying to figure out what we need to do for the back situation. We're trying gabapentin. We started out on 100 milligrams. Now we're on 300 milligrams. We're also on a another medication which is for blood pressure and it slows down my heart rate, which is helping a little bit. And then lastly, there's another one I'll be starting Monday tomorrow, and it's for inflammation and reducing it. So we're hoping that doing these medications and doing some stretches and drinking plenty of water is going to help with this. We don't know. Otherwise, we're going to have to resort to physical therapy. But an orthopedic has declared that I do have arthritis developing in my bottom three discs. So it's not looking good for me if I don't resolve this issue now. So fast forward to today. We have our own apartment. We've got internet now. I just bought a computer. It's not a gaming computer, unfortunately, but it's a computer to at least connect with everybody. But I've got food stamps right now to help me with groceries. I've also got Medicaid for the prescriptions and all that too. So for the moment, grateful. I'm eternally grateful for God for keeping me alive. And I didn't think I was gonna make it. I really didn't. And I'm not trying to make a sob story for you guys. I just want you to know that if you are struggling, God will be there during your worst times. I know that for certain now. I was never hardly a religious person. I did believe in God that Jesus died on the cross for me. I never really took faith seriously. So you know, he kept me alive. He worked through the Penitent Textures and Someone from the Dark and Outcast to keep me alive, to have shelter for me, and hopefully grow from there. So, anyways, I started the job. It's a good paying job. I'm actually going to have to take a test Monday tomorrow on what I've learned. It's a 9 week process training, and we have 3 attempts to take the test. And if we fail the third attempt, we are terminated. But I am studying very hard for this job. I've got jobs backed up just in case. But anyways, that's my testimony. That is my testimony for anybody out there who's struggling. I don't care about your political beliefs or religious beliefs in terms of being at your lowest. I just I want you to know that faith is very, very helpful and it's amazing. The one time I didn't care about faith, I let God take the wheel. I did. I let Him control everything, and look where we're at now. So, don't give up for those that are struggling emotionally, financially, mentally, anything of that nature. Just do not give up. We have a wonderful God that loves us to death, and just do not give up. And I am very grateful that I decided to continue to go because now I have a place to live. I don't have to worry about sleeping in my car and even worsening my back as it is. But anyways, um, now I want to talk about the future of the channel that's to come. I know everything's gone and all that good stuff, but we are actually going to be discussing what we're going to be doing, and I'm very happy to do a couple of things here. So I know for those of you that have been wondering why the mods are gone from Nexus, I still have the mods. However, I'm going to be doing a like a re-enhancement of the mod because there's a couple of things, or actually quite a few things wrong with Riku mod, Vanitas mod, as well as the Ventus mod. I really want to start perfecting some of the models that we've have trouble with. So, but we're getting back into the modding community. I'm glad. I really am. I'm grateful for God. I thank Him so much for everything He's done for me, and I just I'll be starting a new project for KH2 as well. It's an entry video, and it's not the Riku mod. The Big Shuck, sorry, owns that project now. I am helping him with it, but he is under full ownership with the mod, and so it's not going to be Riku. We'll say that. I'll be doing something else entirely, and I'm hoping with some of the tutorials I've seen by Zad, and also some help from the modding community, we will be able to fulfill these projects to the best of our ability. But time is only going to tell. So, anyways, guys, if you've reached this far in the video, I want to express my utmost sincerest gratitude for you listening to my testimony, and I really hope you actually got something out of it. To not give up. If something happens to you, just do not give up. And I am grateful for God for doing that for me. And here's the hope for a brighter future. And hopefully we will fix our back. I'm hoping that's going to come into effect as well. We'll see. And we'll hopefully we'll better ourselves emotionally and mentally as well. But I want to appreciate again Someone from the Dark, the Penitent Textures, and Oddcast for going above and beyond to financially support me, especially the Penitent Textures for doing that for 2 months. Someone from the Dark, he was contributing for helping with the rent. I really appreciate him. And Oddcast also helped in a little bit too with the rent, and also helped out with a couple of necessities when I first got kicked out. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. We are going to be re-uploading our mods that we made in the past, but we're going to be doing some adjustments to them. I don't know when that's going to be because this project I'm starting is going to be a big project. If you are wanting the Vanitas mod, Ventus mod, or Riku mod, they are available for purchase through DMs on Discord. So if you are interested in purchasing this, please let me know on Discord at Guiding Heart. But I appreciate you all once again for listening to my testimony. Hopefully this is to a better future, and we'll be back in the modding community. Thanks so much, guys.